After you try to get sober a few times and you fail, you kind of lose faith in yourself. That was what happened to me. I started thinking I don't have the discipline, I don't have the willpower. Maybe I'm just not that type of person. But when I actually did it, it was because I changed one thing. And that thing was I actually had a system. And then when I looked at all the things that I'd accomplished in my life and all the people that I knew that were successful in life, what they had done, they had a system for everything. So me thinking that I was just going to magically somehow get sober with no help, no system, and not a clue what I was doing was extremely naive. It's almost offensive. So the system that changed everything and allowed me to recreate my life is as follows. Number one, I mapped out the exact man that I wanted to be. I'm talking, I got a fucking pen and paper and I wrote, this is the ideal version of Jackson. This is how he talks, how he walks, how he acts, how he behaves. He trains like this. He eats like this. This is what he does every day. Now that this is what he does every day was like reverse engineered from the things that I said about that version of myself. So he trains, okay, cool. He looks like this. So we're going to the gym and we're training shoulders twice a week because I want some big ass shoulders. He never skips fucking legs. He doesn't eat carbohydrates, etc., etc. And once you've got all those inputs laid out, it's very clear and easy for you to go, okay, this fits here. You put them in logical order that you'd be able to do them in every day. And let me stress this to you. Your daily structure, your operating system has to be easily repeatable. You can't just lay out this mental day, waking up at 4:30 and running a marathon, fasted, and then eating a bacon roll and going to work. That's not going to work. What you need is something where it's actually an easy, structured, repeatable day, because Rome weren't built in a day. Your new life is not going to be built in a day. And I found that out too. And I just made this easily repeatable system where it's like, okay, I'll do this, then I'll do this, then I'll do this. And I just strung these habits together. And within the first 30 days, I was sober. I'd lost like 6 kilos, I think, in the first 30 days. And, you know, I was kind of getting some new results in my life that I'd never had before. I was starting to be able to leave my life of crime. And then in that 90-day period, that first 90 days that I made this decision and I employed this system, I literally lost 17 kilos, got sober as a judge, and I built a business that allowed me to leave my life of crime. And that fucking changed everything for me, because one thing that you need to know is the identity has to change as well. Like, who you think you are has to fucking change. You're never going to get sober with the same habits and the same mindset and the same self-concept that made you have a fucking problem with drugs or alcohol. It just ain't happening. So as soon as you start seeing yourself differently, and that comes from the daily habits, those daily habits are reinforcing this new identity that you've created. They're saying, I am him. You need to think of every fucking habit, every single input on that list that you tick off is a vote for the man you're becoming. And after a month, you're going to have a book like this full of votes for the new version of you. And that's when your mind actually starts to change. But this isn't where it gets easier. This is where it gets harder, because now the system's automatic. You're doing the habits every day, no fucking problem. But guess what? Now your subconscious goes, well, hold on. I thought we was addicted to drugs and couldn't stop eating. And we did crime. And there's this internal battle now between the concept that you have of yourself and who you've become. And how do you overcome that? Well, it's very simple. You smash it to fucking pieces with overwhelming proof. You ignore the 3D. You start to ignore the voice in your mind that tells you to self-sabotage, that tells you to take a day off. And you literally continue ticking those fucking boxes like your life depends on it. Because for me, it did. And once you've employed that habit, that system, that daily operating system for over a month, the voice is going to get louder. But once you've done it for 60 days, for 90 days, your subconscious starts to listen and it starts to think, maybe we have changed. Maybe these results do belong to me. And you start to consciously understand that those results do belong to you because you're putting in the actions every single day. So no matter where you are right now, even if it's fucking rock bottom, good. Because rock bottom, you can only go up. You now get to start from scratch. New habits, new identity, new self-concept, new everything. Just put those inputs in place from today and then just implement, because there is nothing that will change your life more than this. I've coached guys that are earning fucking 15 grand a month, miserable. And then you give them this new self-concept, you give them these inputs, and they start executing on that. All of a sudden, they're enjoying their life. They're fucking happy because they're not engaging in things that bring them guilt and shame. They're not engaging in things that make them hate themselves. And I've been there too. But I'm telling you, you can take the power back like that. The choice is yours. The actions are yours. The inputs are yours. And they are what create the outputs, aka your reality. So get to work, bro.